Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
So, how are you, my love?
Okay.
How has your day been? Tell me a little bit more. What happened today? What did you do?
I sat on the couch all day.
Did you
doing
not?
nothing.
Did you not go to university today?
No,
Oh my God! Why do I think you've been to university today?
I don't know. Seeing as though you're in the next room for me all day.
Oh yeah, I worked. Well, the plan was I'm gonna go in today. I always go in on a Thursday and a Tuesday, definitely. But I was so tired. It must be the coffee.
Or the 400 chamomile cardamom tea that you had yesterday.
I didn't have 400, but anyway. Yeah, so what? So did you just do nothing?
No.
Okay.
So how was your day then? Apart from work?
I literally had to nudge you to ask me, but it's...
Because these things are not interesting.
Of course.
This is a very, very boring start to the podcast.
No, it's not, because this is how people want to know.
You know what I did today, and I know what you did today. It just feels forced that we're asking these questions.
Yeah, but the people don't know what we've been doing. They want to know. Everyone wants to know what we've been up to.
No one wants to know.
Everybody wants to believe me. That's what the followers been telling me. Who takes care of social media anyway? Do you answer to followers?
Get on with the podcast. Come on. What did you do? Sorry, go on. Tell the world what you did then.
This is not love. It's not very loving.
I apologise. Come on, my lovely. Tell me about your day.
Well, you know.
I already know.
Well, obviously, I was gonna go in, but I didn't because I wanted an extra hour in bed. So I worked from home. I did my patients, blah, blah, blah. And then I was gonna go for the leaving do because one of the doctors are leaving. So I went and I drove all the way to Harrogate and I went into the restaurant Portofino, okay? So I asked the lady, I'm like, hi, I'm here for a really big gathering. She's like, do you know any of the people's names? I was like, yeah. So I give her names and she's like, no, none of them. She keeps telling me there is a Lindsay at 7:30. I was like, I don't know any Lindsay. There is a Lynn. She's like, no, there is a Lindsay, 7:30. It's a birthday party? I was like, no. So I'm sweating thinking, oh my God, where have I gone? And I don't have contact with anybody, but thank God, shukran ya Rabbil Alameen, that they just recently added me to the practice WhatsApp group. So I messaged, but of course they're all pharmacists and doctors, they don't look at their phones. So, so I messaged one of the girls and I was just going to say, that's it. It turns out that it was in Ripon. So I had to go
10 miles away.
10 miles away. I had to drive half an hour. I said, you know what? I've come like this. I've put my really lovely... How did I look?
Stunning.
How did my clothes look?
Beautiful.
My face?
Amazing.
10 out of 10, isn't it?
Glowing.
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm not wasting this. This is not going down the drain. So I decided to go to Ripon. And the restaurant was called Portofino. Did you know that Ripon had so many freaking restaurants? One is called Portofino, apparently.
Well, it is a town. It's not like a hamlet, is it?
No, anyway. So yeah, that's really my day.
Wonderful. And anything else you'd like to share?
Not really. You're supposed to ask me.
I just asked you. Is there anything else you would like to share?
No, there is nothing I would like to share, but why do you make it sound like it's all about me, even though it is supposed to be about me as well? I wanted to tell you something. So I've received feedback about the name. You know, yesterday we didn't have a name, so we named it name Siz, because in Iraqi, I know it's Turkish, Siz means not or less, doesn't it? So in Iraq, if someone is more or less, we say adab siz, or if they have no taste, we say dhuq siz. So we use the siz to say that it's nothing. So yesterday, a lot of people who listened to the podcast yesterday at night when we published it, they're like, we really like the name. But then today we've received really good feedback on the name. People say that they really like it. And I feel that...
Name Siz.
No. People are complimenting the Arab and the Manc.
Oh, the Arab and the Manc. Okay.
And I think the Arab and the Manc is better because I love the name sis because, you know, it's just about everything that we don't have like a topic. But it really represents us, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, because you're an Arab and I'm a Manc.
I know that, but like, Dennis, can you just like analyze things? You know, like I'm super Arab, you are super Manc. We represent those places, don't we?
I guess so.
Yeah, because, you know,
We're from there.
we're from there.
So,
Okay.
well, yeah, I think it's a better name anyway. It has more meaning.
Okay.
Literally has more meaning.
Exactly. Right. Moving on to the topic that we're discussing today. Oh, so we should start saying, welcome to another episode of The Arab and the Manc. Okay. We need to add some music in there and stuff. But once I get to know all this technology joke, yeah, that. Okay. Here you go, my love. You take it from here.
So, I believe that you've had people asking more about this Dutch guy that we mentioned on the introduction. And so you've forced me to do this podcast immediately today.
This is not immediately. I've been telling you
So-
all day.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, this was going to be like a weekly thing, but
Well,
so
no, because we've just given an introduction,
okay.
so it wasn't an episode.
Anyway, so I've had a quick look and I've not done full research, so it might be a little bit sketchy, but
Spontaneous.
yeah, I'll try
so tell us the
to
background
fill in some
story.
details.
Tell us the background story, okay?
So,
Okay, yeah, tell me. Fill me in, please.
so this Olympian guy, he was the Hollander.
Yes.
His name was Steven van der Velde. He was a volleyball player, and he was convicted of rape when he was 19. He was 19 years old when he committed the offence. He went to prison 2 years later for it. The girl was actually only 12 years old, not 14.
What? You're
Yep.
kidding.
So he was sent to prison. He was given a 4-year sentence, but because he was from Holland and he lived in Holland, he was sent back there, and then they sentenced him again, but he only spent a year in prison.
So, in total, how much did he spend?
Just 1 year. That's all he
In
spent.
Britain and in England?
Well, he never spent any time in Britain. He got sentenced in Britain,
Okay.
but then because he was sent back to Holland,
Yes.
they re-sentenced him, and he was only given, well, I don't know how much time he was given, but he only actually spent a year in prison. So when he came out, he just carried on with his career as a volleyball player.
Okay. What happened to the girl? Where is she?
Because she's a child, you never find out what happened, who it was, or where she is now. She'd have to waive her right to anonymity, which
okay.
I don't think she's done.
So, what are we discussing here?
So, yeah, the question was if you think that they should still be able to represent the country after committing such a crime. Because, I mean, it's just 1 year in prison. There's people who've done a lot more time in prison for that and come back and represented the countries for crimes, you know, like armed robbery, even murder. So should you be able to come back after this sentence? Certainly in Britain, being convicted of being a paedophile is probably the worst thing that you can possibly be.
Is it like worse than murder over here?
I think there's stigma to it, yeah.
Okay.
You don't get anywhere, and you don't get hardly any time at all in prison for it. But the stigma that's attached to it is, I would say, is worse than being a murderer, yeah.
Okay. Right. I see. Okay. What were you saying?
So if you had committed a murder here,
Yeah.
and then you served, you know, your 10 years in prison or 12 years or whatever,
Yeah.
and came back, then I think most people would just say, yeah, he served his time. You know, depending on the circumstances of it. If it was particularly brutal, then maybe not, but just in a normal case,
Yeah.
then a lot of people would just say, yeah, he's done his time in prison.
Yeah.
allow him to do what he wants now.
Yeah.
But being a paedophile, if that happened in Britain, I can guarantee there is no chance at all that we'd be allowed to represent the country.
Like this
The
will
backlash from the public would be unbelievable.
I'm just wondering if the Dutch people, because this happened over here, he got convicted and then sent there. I don't know if it would have gotten into the media and he got exposed. So maybe that's why it was, there wasn't, because I'm sure the Dutch people would have a similar opinion to the English. I mean, we've not lived there, but I mean, I grew up and I lived, I definitely lived in Sweden for quite a while. So we look at things like that the same way.
Mm-hmm. I think because it's such a small sport, it's not on TV. It's not like a major sport, even at the Olympics, volleyball. So he was probably able to come back into and do it completely under the radar. Like nobody knew about him.
Yeah.
Obviously, the people who do the sport might know, but on a wider scale, the public wouldn't really know much about him.
Okay.
So it's only then when he goes to the Olympics 4 or 5 years afterwards where it comes into the public eye, and then there's a big backlash over it.
Yeah. So tell me, like, your straight idea, like your idea that comes immediately to your mind, would you forgive people like that? Would you allow them to practice jobs like teachers, doctors? What would you?
No, I mean there's just certain jobs that you will never be able to do. Certainly you can't teach after you've been convicted of that.
Yes.
You're not going to be allowed to be any setting where there's children, anyone under 18 or certainly under 16 involved.
Yeah.
So that would be a complete no.
Yeah.
Even other professions like being a fireman or something like that, you won't even be able to do that. Anything that's
Why a fireman?
Just because you'll have some sort of contact with children at some point, and just because it's considered like a job, like in the public eye. So any real job where you're like it's a public institution, like the police, fire and ambulance service, anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be able to do it in England.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry I'm going back about our name, like the Manc and the Arab, and we said because we represent, like, we are very much so from those places, and we represent, like, for me, those values. But I feel like our ideas that we're about to share, obviously maybe not all the Mancunians agree with you, and maybe not all the Arabs agree with me. So it's really our individual point of views. Would you agree? I think the same. I think also I'm not okay with him getting into stuff like that, like representing your country. Certainly nothing that he can get a reward for, because if you are in sports and you win a medal, then people hold you to high regard, isn't it? So I don't think people like him deserve another chance. But there has been some interesting, because do you remember when you first told me about this, I shared it in my story, and people have told me their opinions. Like some of them said, they were talking about consent, okay? And that if she's consented, then you don't know, maybe they had feelings and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, but she was 12 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just telling you their opinion.
So they met online.
Yeah.
Obviously, because he was in Holland and she was in England.
Yeah.
So they met online, and then he arranged to come over and meet her while her parents were out. I don't know if they were at work or what, but yeah. And then he got her drunk and then raped her, or had sex with her.
Okay, so there was no consent, really.
Well, I think she consented to the sex afterwards, but she may have felt forced because he's come over from Holland and stuff like that. You don't know you don't know what happened inside that house.
Yeah, it's
But
really...
the fact is, she's 12 years old. You cannot, you know, it's not like even, I mean, it'd be incredibly bad if he met her, she agreed to have sex with a man and he had sex with her and that was it. But he's actually had the thought that he's going to book plane tickets, fly over to another
He
country.
knew her age.
Yeah.
He definitely knew her age. She didn't tell him. Yeah.
So fly over to another country. Arrange for when the parents are going to be out that he can then go in the house.
Yes.
Get her drunk.
Yeah.
Knowing she's underage as well, even to be drinking.
There was definitely malice behind.
Yeah, there's something in there, isn't there? So, I mean, like I say, we don't know the full details. You're not going to ever find out the full details. But the fact is, he was 19, she was 12. He's a professional sportsman. He should know.
Definitely.
He should know better.
I mean, you get taught these
not an
things in
idiot.
school. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. There is no excuse. So it's definitely right. There is a lot of like... So we established that, you know, he's done, you know, to get her drunk and wait for her parents not to be home. That is definitely, you know, that's bad. So we can't give him any excuse. So I want to talk about like if things like that were to happen in an Arabic country. I feel like I'm gonna get a backlash about this because first of all, people are gonna say you didn't live much in an Arabic country to judge us or anything. But I know that things like that are not taken as serious as they do here in European countries. Because people feel ashamed to share stories like that. So if God forbids, I don't know if this happened to someone we know, especially if it's a girl. Okay, I know that boys can be can go through things like that as well. But if it happened for a girl, oh my goodness, no, you can't tell anybody. So people don't report these crimes. Because they are scared of what the society and the culture is gonna say about them, and the stigma that's gonna be attached to the child, to the girl. You know, like there is a lot of a lot of culture behind this. And in terms of punishment, I'm not sure there are. I unfortunately see a lot of things on social media where children have been like similar to this girl, and people start blaming her, even though she is 12, underage, doesn't really have the capacity to make such decisions. I feel, you know, and they get groomed and stuff like that. People will still judge. Of course, not everyone, but
No.
you know, unfortunately, again and again, it's the culture. So the girls, I have read cases, and I have seen cases, unfortunately, where girls have been raped, okay? Kids, girls, underage. And the comments are disgusting, like, oh, well, she consented. You clearly can see, like, if a footage has been leaked, unfortunately, sometimes it happens, they will say, like, well, she consented, so obviously she knows what she's doing. So I wish that we...
I mean, you still get people who say that here.
Really?
There's some people, yeah.
Oh, wow, I
But
haven't
I mean,
seen.
it's not as common now. But I mean, yeah, I mean, going back, especially a few years ago, it's a lot more open now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you would still get some people. I mean, there's a player going back to. You say like not all Mancunians would agree with me. I'm going to give you it's slightly different,
Yeah.
but not completely different. There was a player for Manchester United
Yeah.
called Mason Greenwood,
Okay.
and his girlfriend.
I'm just gonna say, like, are we allowed to say stuff like that? Name people? Because when I
Yeah,
listen to
this
other
is all-
people's podcast, you can't say.
Yeah, this
So
is
it's
all
been
public
proved.
knowledge.
Okay, public
Yeah.
knowledge. Okay.
So he was
Still.
his
Anyway.
his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Put on social media
Mm-hmm.
pictures of bruises all over her body.
Mm-hmm.
I think her lip was cut and it all run down down her mouth and down her neck.
Yeah.
And she posted on social media saying, "This is what Mason Greenwood does to me behind closed doors," or something to the words to those effects. So immediately United dropped him from the team while they did an investigation. The police arrested him.
Suspended him or fired him from
Didn't
the
fire
team?
him because you have to wait for an investigation. You can't just fire someone immediately.
You have to
you
have the
go through
evidence.
the processes, yeah.
Yes, like beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Okay, yes.
So he was arrested by the police. Then she dropped the charges and said she didn't want to prosecute him.
You told me about this once.
She didn't just drop the charges she actually got back with him
Yeah.
and become a couple again. So, but United, such was the backlash from the fans. They'd heard the recordings.
Yeah.
Because there was a recording as well of him doing stuff to her.
Yes.
Allegedly. We should say that. That's what you need to say when you say things like this.
Okay.
So there was recordings as well as the photos.
Oh, we should say, that's what he says. Anyway, yeah.
I've lost my train of thought.
Okay.
So yeah, the backlash from the fans
Was
was
so big.
so strong, saying we've all heard what happened, we've
Yeah.
seen the photos.
Yeah.
He should never play for United again.
So even if she dropped the charges,
Yeah.
they said, no, we think this actually happens, and she went back with him because
Yeah.
what? He buys her Hermes bags?
We don't know, do we, what the reasons are.
Okay.
So, anyway,
I would go. No, I'm just joking.
so United dumped him.
Yeah.
They sent him on loan originally to another team in Spain, who were happy to have him. So there was obviously no there would have been some backlash from fans there as well, but obviously not enough for them to get rid of him. The fans were thinking, this is a really good player,
Yeah.
plays for England.
Let's take him.
One of the top youth players at United.
What a shame.
So they took him. United then, I don't know if his contract ran out or United just sold him
Yeah.
at the end of that last season.
Yeah.
And now he's playing in France for Marseille.
No way.
And there's been no problems there. They're even putting on social media about his birthday being a couple of days ago. Our great player, Mason
the
Greenwood,
French
happy
people.
birthday.
I'm just joking.
So,
Okay.
so there's obviously
Maybe
been
they
no
don't
kind of
know.
backlash there.
Maybe they don't know.
Of course they know. He's a famous player. Everyone in
Nobody's gonna know.
everybody in football knows Mason Greenwood.
Okay.
Who
I don't.
Who knows? Yeah, well, you don't know anything about football, are you? You know Messi and Ronaldo, and that's it.
I know Yunus Mahmoud and Hawar Muhammad. Do you know them? Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
he's
So
in
it just
France.
shows that in different places,
Things are taken differently.
even in Europe, things are taken
Differently.
differently. Yeah, but England, like we were saying, can you represent your country? He's never played for England again, and I doubt he ever will do.
What do you think about if people did other sort of crimes and then got in the Olympics? Okay, like there's this Swedish player, I don't know what he did. You were just telling me about him before.
Yeah, I mean that was a long time ago. There was-
Knut Lindberg.
Yeah, he was sent to prison for murdering a taxi driver.
Yes.
This was in like
I just
the
want
early
to know.
1900s.
I just want to know why he killed the taxi driver. I didn't even know they had taxis that time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's such a long time ago. There's not really anything much on
Nothing
about it.
existed in Sweden.
But
then,
yeah, he was sent.
apart from potatoes.
He was sent to prison.
Yeah.
But he was let out after only a year or 2 years in prison for some reason,
Okay.
and then represented Sweden again at the Olympics a couple of years later. But I mean, there's people who committed smaller crimes. Like there was a footballer for England a few years ago called Tony Adams, and he went to prison for drink driving, I think, something
Yes.
like that. And there's been other players over the years.
Yes.
Duncan Ferguson was the one who was sent to prison for headbutting somebody, and he carried on playing for Scotland afterwards.
Yes.
So, smaller crimes, you can come back and represent your country, but for a
Yes.
major crime
Like that.
like rape, paedophilia, anything like that,
Yes.
you would never play for England ever again.
No.
Not a chance.
I agree with that. I think people like him or anyone who commits a crime like that on children or not children, okay, definitely should not have the privilege to represent one's country. Definitely not. It's disgusting. I don't know of any famous people who's done stuff like that. Oh, let me tell you, I know now. I know it's not about children, this one, but there is this Arabic singer who's called Saad al-Mujarrad. You know him? He's from Morocco. And in France, there has been allegation against him, multiple rape cases. But he sings. Everyone listens to him still. He gets represent. I don't, obviously. I don't listen to him because I just feel disgusted. But so yeah, I just can't. So he still appears on TV, on interviews. Other artists support him, sing along with him. Even though, like I said, they say I stopped following the case because there were so many allegations. I was like, this in Arabic we say there is no smoke without a fire. So why would there be so many? I don't know. But yeah, so I stopped following the case. I don't really know what happened at the end, like if he got convicted or anything, but he's living his life, and he's very famous and getting even more and more famous.
Well, this is the thing though, it's like where do you draw the line? I mean, he's not been convicted. So people will say, well, he's not been convicted, so the police will have all the evidence.
Yes.
It's up to them to decide if he's guilty or not.
Yes.
But
yeah,
it's difficult. So, but yeah, I mean, it's your own. With something like that, if you think that there's even a chance, then you stop listening to things like that. I mean, there's a band that I listened to when I was younger, and their lead singer's been sent to prison for
who's that?
Lost Prophets.
Oh, I was thinking Newfound Glory. Did anything happen with them?
No.
Okay, just Lost Prophet. Okay.
Lost Prophets, yeah.
Yeah.
And because he's the singer,
yeah,
it's seen as like, I think it's worse when it's the singer.
Yes.
Because he's the front of the band.
Yes.
If a drummer is done for it, or a guitarist or somebody like that, then it doesn't have as much as an impact. And it's one of those things, like, do you separate the work that the band do? Because it's a collective, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
You don't stop watching a movie just because
it's really difficult
just
when
because
it's a
the
band.
guy you don't stop watching a movie just because the guy who was the assistant director got done for rape, do you, or something like that? So
yeah, you're right.
It's how far do you take these things?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's really difficult. But you actually have a personal experience of this. That made it sound really bad. No, I mean you.
I don't have a personal experience of any of that, no.
Shut up, Des. You know what I mean? Like, you know somebody, your acquaintance has been... Please, the mic is yours. What happened?
Yeah, so a band that I like.
A band that
are friends of mine.
Friends. Yes.
And one of their members was found guilty and sent to prison for
pedophilia.
Yeah. And yeah, so the rest of the band members just stopped the group and disowned him, basically.
Yeah.
So I think they tried to find another drummer, but I've not been able to. But I think even at the time they were not sure. They stopped all the social media and everything like that. So
did they?
It impacted on everyone really in the the rest of the group.
If they were to have, like, again, if they were to make the band again, would they have the same name or they wouldn't?
I'm not sure.
Because I feel like they are not famous and they're rubbish anyway. No, I'm just joking. It's not my type of music. So you know, why don't they just make the same? Just find a drummer and continue with it.
I think they're looking to, but it's difficult in a band like that to just find someone. It's not. Like I say, they're not a famous band, so they're not just going to get someone from a different band to come and play for them. So plus they're old now. If they want to listen to this, old bastards.
But does he live still in the same village as them, or does he move?
I'm not sure.
No, Oh my goodness, I would feel just horrible. Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So that is the experience that you've had. Well, if they are gonna play again, all the best to them. Wish them all the best, even though I don't listen to them. So obviously, going back to the Arab opinion, obviously I share the same opinion as you on this case. And because I haven't lived there in so many years, I don't know how things are, but I hope it's changed. Because like I said, even if it's for never mind children, it's really people, and even here, you know, like the cases like that, people always blame the girl.
I mean, if it's the amount of actual rape claims that people are convicted is so low, it's like less. I think it's about 1 or 2% of actual people who are convicted of rape.
Yeah.
So like 2% of the people who've been accused of it. It's such a difficult crime to. Because where'd you get the evidence from? Yeah. It's just two people in a room. One says one thing, one says the other. It's like, even if you're 99% sure that they did it, you've got to be 100% sure. So
yeah, I'm really sorry. I know it's got nothing to do with this, but I just remembered when we went to the fair and then Ernie and Dolly came out and they were arguing and one hit the other and we didn't know who was telling the truth. I know it's different. Yeah, but you know, I actually, just before we end this, I don't know how long we've been recording for, I've had, like, I was talking to my other friends who are like doctors and like from a medical background. I'm saying this because like the science behind it, and they were saying like 19, you know, still like their you know, like their decision making skills isn't like 100%. I don't think anyone has like 100% decision making skills. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Yes, you know, like at 19 years old.
Oh, right, yeah, at that age.
Yes.
Right, I see.
So they think that there is room for forgiveness, and if they show remorse and, you know, talk about what happened and actually, you know, show that they're a good person, they have changed, then they were saying that you should forgive them and just, you know, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, in certain cases, but not in that case. Not when the girl's 12. That's just too much.
No. How old should they be?
I don't know, but I mean, it's, you know, if it was 15 or 16, then, you know, it's still
bad.
Yeah, but it's not.
12 is a child.
Exactly.
And even 15 and 16 is
I know, it's still a child.
Children. Until,
Yeah. So, but you might say, oh, you might be able to make some sort of excuse and say, like, he's older now, he's 25, 26, he's learned from his mistake, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. You might be able, there'll be more people willing to move on and say, oh, you know, let the past be the past.
Yes.
But not when she's 12.
No, definitely not.
Not a chance.
And I agree with those. Okay. Anyway, well, thank you for this. And yeah, let's hear what you guys have to say about this. We would love to hear your opinions. Tell us if you agree with us or if you disagree.
Yeah, and like, subscribe, and follow if that's what you do in social media land.
Yeah, that's it. Do you even know what our logo looks like? Do you know?
I saw the microphone with the finger around it.
Yeah, we need to, like, I wanna ask someone professional to do like a proper one for us. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Did you enjoy this chat?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah.
Want to do some more?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Anyway, until next time.
I'll see you later.
See you. Dennis, say something a bit more like, you know, put some feeling into it.
See you later.
No. Okay, bye.